Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act, head up, that's a fact. Never looking back, I'ma keep myself on track. Keep my head up, staying strong, always moving on. Feel I don't belong, tell my thoughts to move along. Push myself to be the best, die with no regrets. Live with every breath, see my message start to spread. And I had so many dreams, then you hit your teens. Life ain't really what it seems, try to find out what it means. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. Stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me. I have only a path, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to win. I don't want no fake love, I want the real stuff. Everybody listen up, cause I'll only say it once. I'm gonna show you all the path, if you want it bad. I'm gonna show you where it's at, yeah, how you can get it back. Yeah, cause I ain't never done, I'll be number one. Working hella hard until I get just what I want, yeah. Rises like the sun, yeah, fatal like a gun. Shooter's gonna shoot and I'm gonna shoot until I won, yeah. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah. Oh yeah, able, oh yeah, I'm stable, oh yeah, no label, oh yeah, you know me. I have only a path, I'm lonely, but damn, I'm going to win, yeah.
Good evening, everyone. I am the Dreadist, and welcome to my shop of all horror and dread. Thank you for joining me today. Please take a seat and enjoy the show, because today we are taking a look at the new demo of Reanimal. But first, let me take a look at my chat and greet my wonderful viewers. Congratulations, Schmoozer, on being the first viewer of the stream for the 5th time, and also thank you for the daily check-in. I greatly appreciate it. Now, today, against my better judgment, I decided to play once again a PC game. Now, some might be surprised about that, but normally I stream from my PlayStation 4. However, when I heard that Reanimal got a demo, I just had to check it out. So I checked, and apparently it only released on Steam as part of the Steam Next Fest. So I had absolutely no other choice but to stream from PC. And as much as I absolutely love my PC, and to be perfectly accurate here, I am streaming from my PC all the time. However, if I'm also playing on it, that means I have to tweak around some of the settings, and given that once again my second monitor is not working, I have to jerry-rig some other method of actually seeing what the heck I'm doing. So that is why I will be looking left a lot to check, well, my stream, and hopefully nothing will fall apart. We'll see. But let that not stop us, because this demo is really, really interesting. Not in the way that I already played it. I haven't. But Reanimal is in a really, really interesting position right now. So, let me check if the sound works right. Hopefully it will. Yes, it does. Wonderful. And also thank you for the hug, Schmoozer. I greatly appreciate it. Especially a warm hug. It's getting chilly in here. So, last time around, not that long ago, I would say, I played the demo of Little Nightmares 3. And because that was so recent, it's quite special for me to play this demo, but to really understand why this game is in such an interesting position right around now, I have to talk about some of the things I already mentioned in my previous stream. Now, I talked about many things, the history of the Little Nightmares franchise, the two developer studios behind it, Bandai as a publisher working on the franchise, trying to revive it, or rather reinvigorate it, and just the release of Little Nightmares 3, the different editions, pre-order bonuses, and of course, as I played the demo, my opinion about it. Now, I will not bore you with all of the details, so let's just quickly summarize what is important. So, there are two studios that we have to keep in mind. One is Tarsier Studios, one that is actually based in Sweden. I just recently learned that tidbit. And Supermassive Games. Now, these two studios, to those who are interested, Supermassive Games, I think, is a British studio. So, these two worked some time ago for Sony. And then, with some time, they both left and made their way to work for Bandai. Now, Tarsier created Little Nightmares, developed the first game, the DLCs, and the second game. At the same time, Supermassive Games created the Dark Pictures anthology and its many games. Now, the first Little Nightmares game was released in 2017, and the second one was released in 2021. However, something went wrong, and Tarsier decided to leave their work at Bandai. I'm not sure what happened. As I said in the original live stream, I don't necessarily want to talk about the arguments between the companies because it's really difficult to really find out what happened. But at the end of the day, well, Bandai was left with an IP, Little Nightmares, a franchise, without a developer. Now, I checked the dates, and something really interesting is the fact that Little Nightmares 2 was released in 2021, more specifically in February, and it received an enhanced edition, a sort of upgrade for the next or new generation consoles that was released in the same year, if I'm not mistaken, in August. So that means that Bandai was actually pretty quick finding a studio to work on the franchise, even just kind of working on an already existing game. Now that enhanced edition was developed by Supermassive Games, and later on it was announced that Supermassive Games would be, and ultimately did, develop Little Nightmares 3. Now, sometime in the same time period between 2021 and now, Tarsier Studios announced that they are working on a new IP called Reanimal, and that they found a publisher in the company THQ Nordic for this game. So that's the base of what happened. And normally, what I was kind of expecting is that these two games, since they are pretty similar, and let's be honest, both of the franchises were created by Tarsier, so the initial fingerprints are there. The style is there. And so I assumed these two titles will be in quite a crazy competition for the same kind of audience. And that is in a way good, because competition creates better products, hopefully. Now, I played the demo of Little Nightmares 3 and I kind of liked it. It wasn't perfect, but it was fun. I didn't pre-order it for reasons that I explained, mostly surrounding my gripes with pre-order bonuses, but I expected the game to do quite decently. Now here comes what makes this situation really interesting. Little Nightmares 3 released. The day, October 10th, or 10/10, as I noticed, they chose the release date, came around, and with it, Little Nightmares 3 was released. Now, because I spent an entire stream talking about that game and the demo and what I think about it, I want to follow up now and take a look at some of the reviews and some of the news that since the release surfaced, because I find it really interesting, and I'm pretty sure this demo once again will be around, let's say, an hour long or so. So we have some time to talk about the competitor, or the king, that was in this style, the Little Nightmares franchise, and whether or not Reanimal can dethrone it. So let me jump over to the Steam page of Little Nightmares 3. Oh, thank you. That's a really, really nice emoticon there. So, let me see. We don't need this, but we need this. Wondrous. Some technical difficulties here and there, but we will prevail. So, Little Nightmares 3 released, and actually I came prepared because I made some notes on some scrap pieces of paper here to keep my line of thoughts, or rather my train of thoughts, on track and keep us from just derailing the entire presentation that I tried to kind of plan around. So, originally, I said that Little Nightmares 3 is an attempt from Bandai, or made by Bandai, to revitalize the entire franchise. They are trying comics and audio dramas and all kinds of different media products made and set in the universe of Little Nightmares, which is really interesting, and obviously so many tales can be told in this world. Now, there are a few things why I say that they are trying this, and they are trying to milking every last drop from it. That as well. However, they are at least putting some effort into it, and just looking at their web store, they made plenty of merchandise for earlier games, and also this one, statues, little memorabilia, and all kinds of little trinkets that fans can buy. So I do have to say I appreciate that they didn't forget about the previous titles, and with this game they made a number of choices that I think were made to maximize sales. First of all, the pricing. If you take a look, the game is only 40 euros, and in today's world, that is a pretty nice price. They also released the game on the previous generation consoles, for example, PlayStation 4, not only on the next generation ones, and they also have a friends pass, meaning that if you and your friend are playing on the same platform, only one of you need to buy the game, the other one can just use the friends pass. And that's again a nice thing, you don't have to buy the game twice. It also includes a free trial, which is really interesting. If I understood it correctly, if you both download the Friends Pass, you can still play together without anyone purchasing the game and try it out for 30 minutes. But don't quote me on that one, I haven't tried it myself. Now, another thing that I talked about after playing the demo was how they, in my opinion, were able to capture the overall style of the previous games in graphics. They added little cute bits of animation, and mostly they could create an eerie and kind of uncanny atmosphere, maybe not the same as in the first or the second game, but its own kind of unique spin on it. Now, in my opinion, even the first two games were somewhat different. I don't think that they were the exact same in style or atmosphere, and in that way I can see why someone would prefer one over the other. Now, so far everything seems nice, but once again I had my troubles with the demo as well. One of them being that I felt like the clues in the game that should help you to figure out puzzles were not really obvious, if they were present at all, and I was really missing any sort of cues that should signal the player that now you need to run or now you need to hide. It really felt like all over the place, with the timing just feeling off. And again, it was a demo, so I wasn't sure if I missed some of the explanations or tutorial parts, because those are earlier in the game and they are just not part of the demo, or if the game is really like that. But that was one of my problems. I did like some of the ideas. For example, the feather umbrella I found really nice. What I didn't, and what became more and more annoying to me, and I know I mentioned it, was the AI. Because the AI just always does the right thing. And that means, let's say you are trying to figure out a situation, a puzzle, and sometimes because the AI knows what to do and acts according to that, the AI will spoil the puzzle to you. Now, these are little things. For example, when the baby enemy, the doll, raged into the house, and then I think this is towards the ending of the demo, and picks up that toy, and then the roof collapses on us. I didn't really have any time to react to that. I just died. However, because the AI knew that you have to jump into the hole where the toy used to be, it right away spoiled for me that, oh, I have to go there. And I couldn't even restart that part and try to figure it out. So in many ways, the AI is not following you. It's trying to survive themselves. And so sometimes you feel left behind. However, interestingly, even though the AI knows everything and kind of acts on its own, it can still die, which I found out when I do believe in one of the chase sequences, the AI managed to die right behind me. So it's odd how sometimes it knows everything, but still it manages to die. So that was a bit of my trouble with the demo, and you can say that this is a multiplayer game and most of the focus is on co-op, but since the game has a single player mode and thus an AI partner if you don't have anyone to play with, I kind of feel like that it should work and give a better experience. Now, actually, during the stream, I do believe one of my viewers asked how the co-op compatibility works, and after a quick search, I also realized that even though Bandai tried to release the game on as many platforms as possible, there are some limitations. There's no local co-op, only online, and there's no cross-platform play. So that causes some trouble if, let's say, in a friend group, people play on different platforms. However, let's not forget, that was in a Q&A, or an FHQ, I think, that I found on Bandai's website before the release of the game, and that will be important. Now, the last thing I mentioned was the pre-order bonus conundrum, how Bandai came up with the idea to have a pre-order bonus that is exclusive to their shop, and it is digital in-game content. So it's a Bandai store exclusive in-game content pre-order bonus. That's a mouthful. And my trouble with that was that for some other reason, if you wanted that pre-order bonus, which was the Gnome's outfits, you had to pre-order the game from Bandai store, but they only sell digital editions of the game for Steam. So if you are a PlayStation user, Nintendo, Xbox, any console, and you wanted that pre-order bonus, well, you had to buy one of the bigger physical editions, meaning extra cost and shipping. So I felt that was kind of unfair towards the players and the consumers. But that was what I said before the game released. So let's see what happened after. Well, I saw the game release and I was really interested how this will play out. Because honestly, I was expecting this game to do, as I said, decently well, given that it's a beloved franchise and Bandai seemed to do quite a lot of effort into this third game. A studio was behind it who is quite capable, and overall the demo looked nice. Well, if I check the English reviews right now, it is 50% positive, giving it an overall mixed review. Now this is from 3030 reviews, which is, I would say, a decent amount of players. So that's not really good. Well, what went wrong? Because something certainly went wrong. Well, the first thing I noticed is people being upset about the co-op support. Namely, that there are way more situations when you can't play with your friends rather than when you can. No, as I mentioned, this was already told by Bandai in certain FAQs on their websites and whatnot, but I feel like they still failed at informing their consumers enough. Mostly because, well, they still got disappointed and surprised by the fact that certain things are not supported. Namely, for example, some of the reviews were complaining about why the game does not support local co-op. Now, this is one of those occasions when it's difficult to decide who is right and who is wrong. As I said, it wasn't a secret that the game will only have online multiplayer without cross-platform support. However, it also wasn't really advertised that much that these things are not part of the game. So if you just look at the trailers and assume, you can indeed end up feeling a bit tricked. Now, I would say this is kind of 50-50 on the players and on the publisher, because the information was there, but you certainly had to look for it. And this actually made me think, because obviously Bandai didn't want to advertise their game with all the things that it can't do. Just imagine a trailer like that. The newest installment in the beloved Little Nightmares franchise. A co-op experience like no one before, without support for local co-op, cross-platform co-op, or even cross-generation co-op. Little Nightmares free pre-order now. But obviously, you don't really want to do that. That's a lot of things that the game doesn't do. On the other hand, without all these things being... They could have mentioned online co-op only. I do believe they did. But once again, it wasn't really a kind of in-your-face statement. I think it was blatantly said in the FAQ, and that's why I feel like it's kind of a shared responsibility of the publisher and the players. But at the end of the day, it's a difficult decision, I'm sure, for the company, because they made the choice to have the game like this for whatever reason. If you are really putting the info out that, look, this game is only online co-op and pretty much it only works if your friend or whomever you want to play with is on the exact same platform, you will lose on some sales, because some people will just not purchase the game. However, like this, maybe more players purchased the game, but then realized that maybe what they were hoping for is just impossible to do. Because let's say their friend is on another platform, or just on another generation of said platform, or you wanted to play with someone in coach co-op. What? I think that's how they call it, coach co-op. Yes. I can't speak today. Maybe I need to drink a tea. Give me a moment. Yeah, now it's much better. So, like this, you end up with players, consumers who purchase it, who are upset, they feel tricked, they leave a negative review, and because you will pretty quickly realize that this part or thing is missing from the game, you might even ask for your money back. For example, on Steam, where you have 2 hours for that, and I'm pretty sure in 2 hours you will realize, oh, this game is online multiplayer only. So, in a way, maybe you sell more this way, but you end up angering your audience. Which one is the better? I honestly don't know. I'm not good at marketing. That's up to the companies, and Bandai decided to do it like that. But once again, I don't put this blame on anyone in particular. But this was obviously a kind of hit to the game right away. I hope Reanimal is getting cross-platform. If not, I have to buy it for you on Steam. We'll see soon. Dread, do you have some honey for my tea? Unfortunately, I don't think I have honey. Maybe I have some really old honey. If it didn't turn into amber or something throughout all the decades, but I mostly drink my tea with a lot of unhealthy sugar. No surprise, I'm slowly dying. So, that was the first thing. However, you can see that a Q&A was announced or published on Steam on October 15th. That was after with the release of the game and everything, and the original response from the players. And I don't think that's a coincidence. It is not at all a coincidence. So let me show you why I say that. Like so. So first of all, first game, how does co-op work in the game? In Little Nightmares 3, co-op is online. It's right there. The first thing it says. So they pretty much just took most of the FAQ from their website that I read on my previous stream, and they posted it on Steam. And I think they did this because they realized how many players didn't read that post on the original website, or maybe they didn't even find it. Damn, honey helps me with my sore throat. Oh, are you feeling sick? That's no good. You certainly need a warm tea with some good honey and plenty of rest. Now, the other thing, it also explains the free trial, the Friends Pass, and then it drops the other bombshell. Is online co-op cross-platform? Saying that no, cross-platform between different manufacturers will not be supported, but they mentioned what they said in the FAQ earlier. Cross-gen gameplay will not be available at launch. We're still considering adding it. Meaning that nothing really changed since I played the demo. However, here they came out to really address the players But let's not forget, this was 5 days after the game was released, and maybe this was really just an oversight of Bandai, thinking that everyone who pre-orders their game would visit their website and read all the things there, but I really feel like they noticed the uproar after the release, and that's why they decided, alright, we have to post this here as well so everyone can just understand. Was this too late? Possibly. No, there are other information about how the season pass will release later, and the expansion pass overall. And to those who are interested, we got some interesting information about the enhanced edition of the first game. I know I said before the release of the third game that I'm curious what price point this enhanced edition will be releasing at, and as it turns out, it's somewhere around 20 euros. However, a nice gesture from Bandai is that if you have the original game on PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, you will automatically receive the Little Nightmares Enhanced Edition for free. And it works the other way around, meaning if you buy the enhanced version, you get the original one as well, which is really nice, and I like that because that way you can experience the original game if you want. Now, they made some interesting changes with some of the masks. You might remember them from my playthrough of the original game. They made the pre-order masks and the Bandai Club exclusive masks into unlockables that are part of the game, and you can unlock them by doing certain challenges and achieving certain achievements. So for example, the fox mask you get if you smash at least 5 statues, and the Tengu mask you get if you smash all of them, which is actually an achievement and trophy called Rascal, and hug all of the gnomes, which is again an achievement called Little Lost Things. So that's interesting. I like how they brought all of the digital content together for this enhanced edition. Of course, it does not include the Nintendo exclusive Pac-Man mask. The only mask it doesn't mention is the mask of the lady, but I am assuming that it's the same in the enhanced version as in the original, meaning you have to play through the game and you get it. So this is about the Q&A. So really nothing new. They just brought the information to the forefront. Now, another thing people voice their dislike towards is the AI. Mostly the AI dying, and as I mentioned, just knowing everything and somewhat spoiling certain parts of the game. So that I can see based on my experiences, but once again, I just read the reviews and I really feel like these things are up to your personal preferences and your personal opinions. Meaning, if you feel like this game is something you'd enjoy, I do not say not to buy it. I am merely trying to summarize what happened after the release and what people are saying. No, 50% positive feedback on a game on Steam is pretty bad, but that still means that half of the people who purchased it actually enjoyed it, though it's a good question which half of them. Is it the upper half, the lower half, like how were they sliced? That is not explained by Steam. But one of the big surprises when I read the reviews, and I couldn't believe what I'm reading, was people saying that it's not worth the price. Let me remind you, this game, the base game, is 40 euros. Stop slicing people, but that's how percentages work. You never had those times when you had to solve a mathematic equation, and let's say there was like an exam or something, and they had those little explanation tasks. So it's not only that you work with numbers, but there's something like there are 20 kids in the school and 2/3 of them go on a field trip and 2 are leaving and how many are left. And it's always so nice when you are calculating and at the end you figure out that I know the right answer from the school. Exactly 11 2/3 students went to summer camp. Yes, I am sure. Poor Billy, he lost a leg somewhere along the school year, but I'm sure I calculated correctly. It's always the left and the right side. That could turn into a political joke, but I'm not doing that. So, how in the heck can it be that people are saying that a game priced at 40 euros or dollars in 2025 is not worth the price? Now you see, not big on politics. I am not big on politics either, but history is littered with it, just like how history is littered with horror. So I have to know about it. Now, let me remind you that 40 euros for a game, even back in the day, in the 60 euro days, good old times, that would be 2/3 of the normal price. Nowadays, with games like Silent Hill F releasing for 80 euros, standard edition, yes, I am looking at you, Konami, yes, 40 euros, this game is pretty much at half price, and yet people are saying that it's not worth the price, and I couldn't believe it. How is that possible? Well, apparently it is possible because some people, some reviews claim that the game is 2 to 4 hours long. Now, again, I take every opinion and review with a grain of salt. If I think about the original game, let's not forget it had a trophy, which I actually earned, that you had to play through the entire game under 1 hour without dying. And it was mostly doable if you knew the game well enough and you used a few shortcuts. It wasn't anything crazy. You didn't have to glitch through half of the map to get to such a time. So Little Nightmares, the original one, wasn't that long either. However, it had content. It had collectibles. If you looked around the first time around when you played, if you took your time to look around, messed up here and there, and you didn't just want to run through the game and get over with it as soon as possible, you could play through every chapter in like an hour, meaning 4.5, 5 hours, because the last chapter is kind of shorter, and then maybe a replay for all of the collectibles. Let's call it 8 hours in total. Now, the 2 and 4 hours here, what does that mean? With collecting and getting 100% or just rushing through the game? I don't know. And that's why I say, if you are interested in anything, do your own research. I cannot tell you if this game is short or not. I haven't played it. I will one day, hopefully, so I will not spoil myself, but if you want to check, look for maybe a full walkthrough that is without any commentary, maybe, and just look at how long the game is. But it is a reoccurring thing that players are mentioning. The game is just too short for the price point. And I think these are plenty of claims to say the release wasn't exactly a huge success. So much so that some of the reviews are flat out saying that, look, Supermassive Games, they tried to capture that style. Some say that they really tried, pretty much just copying ideas and mechanics to have that nostalgia, but overall they couldn't really get it right. It couldn't live up to the hype of the previous games. And again, this is in reviews of Little Nightmares 3. Some players are recommending just waiting and purchasing Reanimal when it releases, telling that that is from the developers of the original game. So, in an odd way, when I was expecting that maybe Little Nightmares 3, being the bigger franchise, the bigger name, might overshadow Reanimal because it's releasing sooner, even though there is quite a time gap between the two games. Or what I really thought, that the two would be competitors of each other and hopefully having a fair kind of balanced fight. It turns out, no. Little Nightmares 3 kind of failed to live up to the expectations, and so people, even those people who might have not even heard about Reanimal that much, they are now hearing about that game and how that is developed by the same studio, and now they wait for that as a kind of savior. Now, will Reanimal be able to live up to that? It's a good question. I don't know. But it really seems like that, and a really interesting twist of fate, Little Nightmares 3 is the best thing that happened to Reanimal in recent times, which I absolutely did not expect. I really thought the two would be head to head, but it turned out differently. Some people calculate the price with the time, like I think it was World of Warcraft in comparison. Yes, you can absolutely calculate the value of games simply taking the time that you spend with it and dividing it by the price, or the other way around. And it works to a certain degree, but let's not forget that different games work differently. In an open world game where you are looking for things, you can spend hours pretty much not progressing in the story at all. In a more story-oriented puzzle game where you are going from one puzzle to the next, there's less time to just walk around and do nothing. But then again, maybe you get caught up on a puzzle and spend an hour with it. Does that count? Someone else will not get caught there. Maybe they will get lost in a maze or just forget a detail. So it's difficult, and that's why, for example, I said before that as much as I know there is a website where you can check how long a game is, those numbers pretty much never apply to me, because I just like to take my time with games, and so I can spend hours in a short game just looking at details and talking about certain ideas that are presented, looking for collectibles, when some players just absolutely ignore all of that. I also hunt for trophies that can easily multiply the hours spent in the game. Some people just play through it once and they are done, and that's all fine. That's up to personal preference again, and that's why I always advise people to look into the things that they are interested themselves and not just listen to someone else. That's why I am telling you all of these things from the information I could gather and my personal opinion of the demo. I'm not saying if something is good or not if I don't know, and I just want to give information to my viewers so they can form an educated opinion about something. I'm not saying buy this game or not buy this game, because that's not my role in this, in my opinion. And also, let's not forget something that I kind of realized, or I was reminded of while I was reading the reviews. A lot of people love the original Little Nightmares, and I think a smaller amount or a smaller group really likes the second one. Honestly, I still think the first one was great. The second, I feel like, could have been better, but it didn't get that necessary polish. Now, with players who are big fans of the franchise saying that this is just not Little Nightmares, and that Reanimal is the right game because that is developed by Tarsier, I can believe that, but I cannot make sure that some of that reasoning is because these players feel somewhat betrayed by how the franchise that was obviously Tarsier's creation was handed over to Supermassive Games. And that's why I even said previously that it's a tough position to be in, because the new studio, whatever they do, whatever they try, they will never be the original studio. They have different ideas. They can try to work with the style, and maybe they absolutely wanted to do their best. But it will be another kind of Little Nightmares. And so, in some ways, I'm not sure if all the reviews... Oh, thank you for the new follow. Welcoming Game Changer 121. And welcome to my impromptu presentation about Little Nightmares 3. Don't worry, we will get around to play the Reanimal Demo in this stream soon. But to summarize, I can't say that people are not biased in one way or another. I'm not accusing anyone because, again, reviews, these are customer reviews, they are obviously subjective. But I know if I really like a studio's work or a franchise and something changes, it can be disheartening in a way. I really liked, for example, Doom 3, and then when they kind of restarted the franchise with Doom 2016, it was a huge success, but it's not my Doom. I accept that it's good, but it's not the kind of Doom that I liked. The only thing that the fans of Doom 3 in the franchise are kind of the minority, so it's not a big uproar. But I still feel like that Doom in a horror setting can work. Some people say, well, it's just a run and gun game, and 2016 Eternal did exactly that. And hey, people like it, and that's great. I always say that just because you like some of the games from a franchise, you don't have to like them all. You can just say, you know what? I like this game and this game, but that third one I just don't like. And that's okay. You don't have to play every game in a franchise because they are loosely connected. The point is to have fun. Now, the only thing that is left on my little note page is actually the pre-order bonus, which is not that important with what I was talking about, but it's interesting. Because Bandai pulled a trick that I certainly was not expecting. You see, the game released, and I checked like an hour after, half of an hour after the game released, and I see, oh, it has the free trial, it has the standard game, it has the deluxe edition, it has the expansion pass, which is also in the deluxe edition. It has the Residence costume pack, which is also, I do believe, in the deluxe edition. These are costumes of, I think, old or characters from older games. We also have the Ferryman costume set, which is, I think, a costume set that is based on a character who will appear in the Secrets of the Spiral expansion pass. I know there will be 2 DLCs in that, so a bit like how the original Little Nightmares had the Secrets of the Maw. Now we have the Secrets of the Spiral, and instead of 3 chapters, there will be 2. So these make sense. Actually, you can buy the Ferryman costume set on its own, but just looking at these prices, you are looking at 25 euros for these 2. And the difference here is only 20. So if you pay 20, you get the expansion pass, the Residence costume pack, and the Ferryman costumes pack. So that's kind of nice that they actually gave a kind of meaningful discount. But what is this? This surprised me, really. The Dark 6 costumes set can be purchased for 3 measly euros. Now, those who might not know, that is the pre-order bonus of this game. So Bandai made the pre-order bonus outfit set available right away as soon as the game released, and I'm sure a few players were really upset about that, because that was the point of pre-ordering if the pre-order bonus is then available. Now, I actually kind of appreciate this gesture because it's 3 euros, I can buy it anytime. Those who pre-ordered, they got it for free, so they still got some value. What I can agree on is that Bandai could have mentioned that these will be available later on. I'm not sure if it was ever hinted at that maybe they will be available at a later time or something like that. But even then, I'm pretty sure people didn't expect it to release with the game. Now, they did something similar with the first game. As I mentioned, the pre-order masks were turned into DLCs later on the line, and now in the enhanced edition, they are in the game by default. So I like this idea that if these digital costumes and overall any digital content was created for the game, let's have the players have them whenever they start playing the game. I appreciate that. However, here's the kicker that I could only laugh about. They made the Dark 6 costume set available. The one that you could get by pre-ordering the game abso-fucking-lutely anywhere. You could pre-order on Steam, the Xbox Store, Nintendo Store, PlayStation Store, whatever. You got that. The store exclusive, the Bandai Store exclusive Gnomes costume set is nowhere to be found, however. So the one that I mentioned earlier, how it was a bit unfair that for console players it wouldn't be so easy to get, that is nowhere to be found. So they made the easily accessible pre-order bonus into a DLC that you can buy anytime, but not the more difficult one. So that is kind of disheartening to me, because I might have thought about buying the game if they say, alright, we realize that a lot of people couldn't buy those physical editions because, well, they actually out of stock, and they were out of stock before the game released, since we are talking about pre-order bonuses here. But unfortunately, that wasn't made available. We'll see, maybe one day. But that's about Little Nightmares 3, and that's why I said that Reanimal is in a really interesting situation now. No, as soon as I can find the right image. No, that's not it. That's not it. I am so professional. Okay, let's do it like this. So let's jump over to the Reanimal Demo. Yes, Steam, I am plenty old to take a look at it. So this is, as you can see, kind of cropped. Part of the next fest is the Reanimal Demo. Will it be available after the next fest ends later today? I do not know. That's actually why I'm playing it now. However, what I really like about this page is that we get plenty of information about the game itself. And I really appreciate that the developers, the publisher, whoever set this page up, they did a really nice job just giving some information about what we can look forward to. So let me take a sip of my drink. Let's try not to drown. Oh, drowning in tea. That would be a nice way to go. So, welcome to the hellish world of Reanimal. Nice. In this exclusive playable demo of the game's opening chapters, you will venture into the abandoned mill in search of one of your missing friends and learn quickly that cooperation is the only means of survival. Now, this is really nice. We already know that this is from the beginning of the game, and we know the location, the mill, and an interesting bit of wording here, one of your missing friends, meaning that there are multiple, hinting at that maybe the entire game will be focused around searching and hopefully rescuing our missing friends. Taking place at the very beginning of the game, you will learn how the boy and the girl meet, and more importantly, get a hint of why they might be here. At the same time, you will get your first taste of riding the boat around this dark and unforgiving place. So, we get an even more accurate bit of information about where this is in the game. It's the very beginning. And also, we get to see the exact moment when the developer team and studio stopped giving a fuck about naming their characters. Because here we have the boy and the girl. Absolutely brilliant. Okay, I'm just halfway joking here, because I understand that in especially a co-op game, the two main characters are played by, well, players, and the character becomes the player to a certain degree, so giving a really simple name that is not really even a name, but just a way you can refer to one of the characters is clever. And you need to pick something of a name that just by looking at the characters you can right away know which one is which. And well, based on the design, boy, girl, pretty big difference, and everyone right away knows. And I kind of appreciate that simplicity, because just imagine that you sit down to play this game with your friend and they ask, okay, which one is you? And you just say, oh, I'm playing the boy. And then they look at the screen and, oh, then I'm playing the girl. Fine. And we already know everything. We don't have to confuse things with complicated names or trying to remember who's who. Now, the other thing, the boat gets a mention, which is also in the key art of the game. And apparently that will be interesting. Maybe we will be going from one place to another using the boat. We'll see. As you find your way through the fog to the shores of the mill, your search for Hood will introduce you to the many obstacles that block your path, including an encounter with her disfigured captor, known only as Sniffer. So I'm assuming Hood is the missing friend, and we have the Sniffer, I'm assuming, in the fog, right in this little video tidbit. I'm curious to see that. Luckily, in this demo you will not have to defeat him. We're saving that delight for the full game. Really nicely worded. Features: immerse yourself in a brand new world created by Tarsier Studios, filled with mystery and unspeakable horror. Meet the two main playable characters, the boy and the girl, as they search for the first of their missing friends, again reinforcing that we will be doing this a lot. Explore the mill and the train yard, and the first fragments of the mysterious story that lies beneath it all. Experience a first taste of Tarsier Studios' unique brand of co-op horror, where you must learn to work together to survive, whether riding by boat or exploring on foot. So, again, I really applaud how they wrote this entire page. Really nice. It really makes you interested in the game. So with that all said, it is time to actually jump into the game, I think. And we'll see just that as soon as I can find it. Now I only started up the game to see if it even works. So the audio might be a bit loud at first. We'll see. Alright. Good start so far. Now when I started up, I got, yes, exactly, a little notification from Steam saying that this game is recommended to be played with a controller. However, as I mentioned, I am playing on PC, so I decided to play with a keyboard and mouse. No, I originally played the first Little Nightmares game with a keyboard and mouse and it worked. So I don't think I will have much trouble with this one, but we'll see. Adjust the slider until the image is barely visible. I think it will be okay. I kind of like to see what I'm running from. Thank you for playing the demo. We would love to have your help in improving the game by contributing usage data. This only includes information on how you play the game and does not involve any personal identification data or unique device information. Contributing usage data is optional, and you can opt out at any time in the game's settings menu. Please review our privacy policy. Alright, I will accept if by any chances it turns out that my personal information was stolen by this game, then this is the evidence that I accepted it, but they lied to me by saying that they won't steal my information. Alright, Reanimal Demo. Okay. Well, press enter to start. Okay. I can do that. Oh, we are right in the menu. Nice. Settings. What do we have? Game language. Okay, crossplay. It doesn't mention what crossplay, but this is promising. Alright, I found some honey. That's wonderful. Enough for one tea. That's good to hear. I'm happy about that. But he still didn't answer. Are you feeling sick? I hope you are quite alright, but enjoy your tea. Well, we have controls. We will figure this out. Don't worry about it. Audio. Yes, the audio might be a bit too loud. Or maybe a fluke. Push Moser. Oh, that's no good. You really cannot catch a break. Push Moser. Get yourself some nice hot tea with that honey and take a rest if you can, if you have the time. Maybe sleep a bit. That might help your body fight off that awful flu. Now, let me see. Yes, I'm playing with headphones on. Otherwise, the rats might get disturbed. Graphics. Yeah. Get that down to 60 before something burns out. No sleep, soon a collapse stream, but it's okay. Oh, I see. Well, I hope your stream will go just right in that case. Advanced video set. Oh, this might be a bit too much. We'll see. Now, we have visiting the store, but not yet. After the demo. Let's see, we have single player and co-op. Now let's just look at the co-op for a moment because I'm curious how this can work. We have local co-op and then hosting. That's interesting. That means that there will be local co-op and some form of online play, and given that the settings had a crossplay option, maybe we will have some form of crossplay as well. But for now, we are going with single player. Let's see how clever the AI is. That means we can test it in co-op? Maybe. Yes, we could. Let's see. New game. I don't know. Have you played the demo yet? 6 slots. Nice. Oh, shaders. I love pre-compiling shaders. That's always so fun. And takes so much time. Funny enough, I downloaded it yesterday. That's all. Well, if you don't want to spoil it for yourself, I know you are looking forward to this game, then maybe it is time for you to pause this stream. I more than understand. Now you're fine. Alright. Well, let's see what this is about. 82%. Back in my days, we had no shaders. Still, things worked. I feel old. Stop lagging me. That's unprofessional. Well, that's a hole, alright. And I'm assuming those are the kids. 5 of them. And I'm on a boat. In the middle of nowhere. Hold W to drive the boat. I have a bad memory and continue the Shattered Heart sub-badge. Oh, nice. Not the bad memory part, working on the sub-badge. I'm sure it will look amazing. Really nice how the engine on the boat has that spinning part on the top. Well, obviously we have to go backwards because Limbo taught us to do so. No, no, no. Oh goodness. I already hit the edge of the world. Sorry. I'm a developer's worst nightmare. Always doing what I'm not supposed to. Alright, I understand you want me to go to the boys. Ouch. Oh yes, I figured that out already, thank you. Oh, what was that? You know what, I will just go to the left here. Let's see what we have out here. I'm sure this won't be a problem. This is a pretty small world. That's not a complaint. It wouldn't make much sense to render a huge lake for no reason. So we just turn around automatically. Makes sense. You know, maybe we can find some secrets. Or maybe not, we'll see. Where are we going? Because we are just following these lights blindly. Oh, birdies. Birdies. Oh. Man in the water. Man in the water. Quick. We have to rescue them. Oh, there you are. Oh, that's a good catch. We will be eating good tonight, boys. Oh, wait. Sorry. Woman in the water. Oh, you have a lamp. Good thing you didn't let go of that. Do you have a rabbit mask? Hey! Hey, no, 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 no. I just saved your butt. I can throw you back into the water.
I thought you were dead.
Well, I almost was.
Where are the others? No.
Ooh. That's a tall cliff. Do we get a title card? No? No, too much. Okay. This is not a movie, this is a game. So one thing right away, and this is a really small settings thing, make the names of the speakers displayed before the subtitles. Because when one of them said that I thought you were dead, I don't know who said that. And that's a bit confusing. Best way for Dread finding trophies? Secrets. Yes, the rats will always help me. I love chamomile tea with honey. Oh, that is indeed a nice mixture. Right, so apparently we are playing as the boy with a sack over our head and a noose around our necks, while the girl has a sort of rabbit mask and some sort of hat on top of her head, or maybe that is the strap of the mask, I'm unsure. So where are we going? I guess we fell into something like a well, and that was the opening scene, and our friends were left on the island. Now how we got onto the boat is a good question, but at least we know that we rescued the girl. And I mean, we are in a good kind of relationship if the first thing that she did after seeing us was start strangling us. I mean, I mean, these are kids, so I I can make those kind of jokes. Use the mouse to look around. Oh, that's really, really pretty. The light hitting the waves and then their shape reflecting onto the cliffs. Nice detail. But why am I looking around? Oh! I'm looking around with the girl's lamp. So I'm assuming if you are playing in co-op, then different players are controlling the boat and the lamp. What is this noise here? Why are you looking here so much? Look ahead. I said ahead. I can't see anything. I'm controlling both of them and I still can't see anything. I'm not good at multitasking. Not sure if I mentioned that. Okay, should we go left or right? Any ideas from my beloved viewers? Just so I have someone to blame in case I die. Should we go left or right? You see, towards the right we have waves and rocks and darkness. Towards the left we have waves, darkness and rocks. Now you might say that's the same thing, but not exactly. There's a slight difference. Alright, let's go towards the right. I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter, but... Oh, more choices. Okay, we're going right. If I started going right, I go right again. So at least I can remember where I was. I feel like I should do something with the settings. Not the game, the graphics. Now, here's the thing. This is one of those parts unique to PC gaming that you have to mess around with the settings. And normally I would try to set everything up in advance, but this being a demo, I didn't want to start it up. I didn't want to spoil anything for myself. So you can see everything as it is, even setting the gamma and the welcome message, everything. Now, we kind of run into these issues, but why I don't mind that much, because once again, this is just a kind of first look. And maybe not even the demo is fully optimized just yet. I'm not saying that it's bad, but again, the game will release next year, so I'm sure the developers are hard at work to just polish the game to perfection as they want to. But I don't think turning the graphics a bit down would hurt the experience that much. Welcome in, Alice. How are you doing? We are playing the Reanimal Demo, and I just realized we have masks. No, wait a moment. We have the sack, that is for the boy. We have the bunny, or rabbit, that is on the girl. And we have 3 empty ones. And it says that the left mouse button will equip for the boy and the right will equip for the girl. Meaning there might be secrets and masks in this demo. Doing okay today, that's wonderful to hear. Your look seems to have changed a bit. Oh yes, this is my lovely new live 2D model. I shed my static form for the time, and now I can move around a bit and bit more of my monstrous version. You like it? I'm really happy to hear that. I might be a bit lagging because I'm playing the demo on my PC. Normally I play the games that I stream on my PlayStation. However, the Reanimal Demo is exclusive to the Steam Next Fest happening right now and ending in 1 hour and 16 minutes. Yes, I started right in time. Actually, even though I changed the graphics, I don't really see that huge difference. It's really pretty even like this. Now I have a feeling we shouldn't hit the mines. Should I try just, to see what happens if you do hit the mines? Not sure. That is again not my internet, that is the game just losing its mind. I think just trying to load the world. And I'm not necessarily surprised. It's a pretty big open place. Obviously the water is something really difficult to render. So I will be interested to see what the recommended specs for this game will be. Maybe they are already out. I honestly haven't checked. Oh, I see something. I see land. Ah. Okay, now we are finally, hopefully, on land and we can stop lagging. Why is that there? Okay, we can push the boat back and go back onto the boat. Meaning that this is not a one-way trip. We can and possibly will return to the boat. Now, press E to interact. I already figured that out. Kane! Kane, come back! Oh, I see. You're hiding in this one. Kane! Don't hide! I don't want to hurt you. I was looking for my Kane, not a key. But thank you for leading me to it. Again, these are those tiny touches that make the Tarsier games so, I want to say, adorable in a way. Yes, absolutely I will open all of the suitcases. I mean, look at me. Like, what are you expecting? But where's my kin? I wanted to give them a hug. Okay, maybe we can find something else here. So far, I'm not really having trouble with the controls with the keyboard, even if the developers recommend using a controller for this game, and I honestly agree with the idea that most platformer games are better when you play them with a controller. Okay, so we have 2 doors. The question is, which one will the key open? I wanted to check the other one. We can go back. Really nice. Really nice. So I guess there is that kind of cutscene that the characters go into the building just so the game has time to load the new environment and delete from the memory the old one. But still, they let you come back here. So I guess that is where we will return to the boat later on. Whether or not that is part of the demo is a good question. Automatically we climb. That's nice. And also, let me take a look. What happens if we want to fall down? The character can fall down. There's a really nice little animation how he goes down to one knee and then drops down. Oh goodness, that sound. I don't want to say for certain, but that sounds so much like Doom 3. I wouldn't be surprised if that is the exact same sound effect. Nah, let's go into this pipe with a cage over it. I'm sure this is a good idea. Do you still have your lamp? Really? You have a lamp and I have to go with this? Now wait a moment. So I have a lighter. Oh, and you have your lamp. Okay. I thought for a moment that I have to light her lamp, which would have been nice, but she's an independent girl. Not some princess who needs to be saved. Oh goodness. She seems like she's from Silent Hill. Maybe a bit. And now I'm having flashbacks to... Oh, which game had something like this? Resident Evil Village, yes. Okay, let's turn that off. Great. I think I just avoided getting murdered. An invisible wall. I can get through it. Look at these. Even the environment is falling apart. No, I'm not running into that. I'm not that suicidal. Thank you very much. I guess we have to move. And move quickly. You know what I don't want to happen? Get sucked back. So let's move it. You know, it's not so terrible to be here. I mean, at least I'm not alone. That's nice. Are you okay? So here the AI follows me more, but so far we didn't really have any troubles with puzzles or even found puzzles. Alright, crouch. Also, I do like how they pretty much took the beginning of the game, and so you can play through the tutorial and now how to do certain things in a more natural way. It's not just look at the controls and figure it out yourself. Well, we are not alone. Doesn't that make you happy? Not me, I'm not so social, sorry. Now let's see, so here... Okay, I can come all the way here. There are a lot of invisible walls, or at least what feels like invisible walls here and there. I'm not sure how much that will affect looking for secrets and such. So far, I'm having trouble figuring out where I can and can't go. So for example, I don't think I can jump in there. I can hoist, so that's nice. Anything here? A box. So the girl will be the light source in a way. I can already see that. Really nice shadows. Can I move this? No, I can come up here, but there's no point. I can't move the boxes, but without doing anything, the character climbs up onto anything that is not too tall for them. So it's almost as if you are free running in an Assassin's Creed game, which is interesting. And then we can help her up. And then jump up ourselves. That's nice. That's nice. Again, that's a lot like in Little Nightmares 2. And yes, I will be comparing them quite a lot because, again, the same developer. And I think they certainly learned a lot during the development of the first two games. So I'm quite sure we will see many ideas further refined in this one. Why the game likes to lag sometimes, I feel like that's because of how the level is cut up into sections and how you can move between them seamlessly, but in the background the game has to load. Is this a secret? I'm not sure, but there is a door here, and there is a sign there that shows do not try to breakdance on the stairs, which is odd because I don't see any stairs. Maybe they are behind the door. But look, if you can go left, that means you can also go right. So let's check. I did not go there.
You came back.
Oh.
I knew you would.
Are you okay?
You should leave. While you still can.
I mean, you could have at least tried to go through the bars, but alright. Interesting how we can open these. So some containers we will be able to open. Why is that good? I'm not sure, because I can close them. I can't hide in them, at least in a meaningful way. And I haven't found anything inside of them. Or if I have found anything inside of them, I didn't see it because of the camera angle. But this is interesting because we have quite a large part here. Alright, so this is where we came from. Yes, we just merged with the girl. That's okay, that's one of those things where I feel like it's alright to do that because it helps with the experience. It doesn't necessarily have to be super realistic to make a game fun, and going through the other character, especially in a chase scene or somewhere where you could get stuck, can be a bit odd but also helpful. So I don't see that as a mistake. Okay, where the heck are the stairs? Well, beautiful. If you try to walk up, the character will start doing this little going back and forth, and if you still keep going, then they will fall, but grab the ledge and then you can pull yourself up. Really nice detail in case someone is running. This feels more like a secret to me. Oh, you needed the stairs? I'm sorry, I was hungry. You ate all of the stairs? You didn't even leave a step to me? Alright, I guess. Let's shimmy in. Oh! Do you see that? Do you see that? That's a mask. Look at my beak. I'm a bird. And what a bird I am. It's a secret, and that's a mine down there. But I'm a birdie. What you think? And what is really nice is how they mix. Yes, it's a bird. How they mix items of different sizes. Like this world is realistic in size. And the kids are small, but realistic to a kid's size. But this mask, those eyes, are like the metal rings that they kind of stamp into clothes, and they are pretty small. And the developers took that idea and just enlarged it, so it's a design that you see in smaller size. And so when you look at the kid, you naturally assume that he's really small. And that's a really clever trick, and I'm sure they will do this with many things throughout the game. Well, I'm a bird. Let's see actually the masks. That's a bird. And indeed you can equip and unequip it. So if you want the base hat or mask, you can. You can also put it on the girl. You see? Now you're a bird. You're a cute bird. No, here this is a good kind of question, that because I'm playing single player, I can choose who wears the mask. I can't make them both wear the masks or one mask. So if you're playing multiplayer, it's a good question if you both have to pick up the mask or if it's shared, or you need to play through the game twice in order for both of you to have them. But again, really simple idea, but they are using shapes. So the boy is a square and the girl is a circle. And you can already see that with these graphics here. Now if I equip the mask to the boy, there is a square in the corner. If I put it on the girl, there's a circle. Really clever. And actually, if you try to equip the mask to the other party, when it's already on one of them, it will start shaking the little symbol. You see? Really nice, subtle ideas, but those are really important with game design, mostly with the UI, to make it feel natural. And yes, certainly because the game is not linear. That's a huge change compared to the first game, the first Little Nightmares game. There, most of the level was linear. Now we are going all around and the camera is rotating. It kind of reminds me of the old fixed camera games like the original Resident Evil and such. So because of that, you have to move in many different angles. And certainly playing with a controller helps with that, because I can only move up, down, left, right, and diagonally, whereas with a controller I can be more precise and accurate. Now let's see what's behind door number 1. A hydrate. Thank you. Oh, and a posture check as well. Let me try again. Maybe I get something else. No, I feel like this is really closed. Alright, girl, let's go. I have to say, I have not the slightest of clues what kind of place this is. In theory, a mill, but I'm wondering what kind of mill. Now, will the lamp switch or the light switch work? No. Would have been nice, but no. Oh, a fan. Can I turn the fan on? Would you like to be my fan? I still need 8 more followers for my return to Abe's New and Tasty, so would you like to be my fan? No? Okay. Kinda rude, but understandable. Now, what do we have here? It's pretty dark, but really nicely created. Again, the items are kind of realistic, but they have this style that reminds me of painted textures, and I really like that. Can I make a phone call? No. Can I turn the computer on? Can I pet the mouse? I can't pet the mouse. That's just rude. Oh, I have a chair. But take a seat. I want to have a statue of me like this. I will call it the Wandering Burb. I'm wandering deep in thought. Girl, the lamp was just levitating in your hand for a moment. Okay, so why is this good? I'm not sure, but look, I can sit on the chair. Maybe if you're playing multiplayer, you can do something with the other character. I'm not sure. Maybe a later achievement? Maybe. Sit on all the chairs. I guess we're pulling this. Really? This was the light switch? Really should have hit it first. Oh, my fan is on! It's not really doing anything. Okay, let's check the phone. Still not a thing. There's something with the computer. I can see that. Let me try to sit down and look at the screen. It's a bit far away and it's really dusty here. Maybe we should go. Well, let's go. I have a feeling the game wants me to jump over there and I'm not doing that. Sorry. Nah. Even this seems more safe or safer. Not by a long shot. Okay. Yeah, you kind of went through me there, but that's okay. One thing I have to say, forgetting about the entire kids are being the characters here, I highly recommend this game already to couples, because the amount of "it's nice to be inside you" jokes are just through the roof. Okay, well I can... Ooh, I can use this as a brake. Uh-huh. Why am I stuck here? Press C to call companion to interact. I'm pressing it. I'm pressing it. Nothing is happening. Excuse me? Girl. Not sure what you are supposed to do, but I feel like we are stuck here. Let me look at the controls for a moment. Yeah, I already know that. Jump, run, crouch, crouch toggle, slow walk, call, light, throttle, reverse, boost, enable look around. What do you mean enable look around? Oh, so we can look a bit around, but you have to keep holding the middle mouse button. Look, I am calling you. Nothing is happening. Let's try to do something differently. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing here, to be perfectly honest. Do I have to jump inside of this thing, or stop it at the right moment? But again, nice that we restart from a checkpoint by standing up as if waking up. I'm stuck again. Okay, I'm starting to see what the idea here is. I shouldn't be stopping this machine. That is the job of my companion. So I have to press C here. She will stop it, and I can move on. This is an interesting thing, because in a way you can get yourself soft-locked by holding the brake, because I couldn't let it go, the lever. However, it shows how the developers handled co-op with the AI. So instead of you holding the brake and the AI just knowing what to do, you have to do the thinking part, and the AI will just do what you ask them to do, letting you figure out whatever you need. So you ask the girl to hold the lever and you move around, instead of you holding the lever and the girl doing all the rest. I have a fee! There was a hole there? Huh, good to know. Okay. Would you do? Thank you. Okay, oh, I see. I have to jump here. I'm a genius. And the girl right away knows, okay, now I can stop it. Oh, and here's a shortcut. Really nice. A steel beam. And we can move on. Really nice. Really nice little details. And something that I appreciate is that they didn't remove the secrets, the masks from the demo. Because otherwise that place that we discovered would be entirely useless. But like this, you get a taste of, oh, there are secrets, there are masks I can collect. And alright, in this demo you can collect 3 maybe, and in the entire game you can collect 10 or 20 or who knows how many. But you know what to expect. And that's nice. That is the job of a demo. Well, I heard about skeletons in the basement and all that, but this is not a skeleton. This sounded pretty squishy to me. Oh. This is logged. Oh, wait, this isn't logged. Let's see. Oh! Okay, apparently it's not just dust in there. We'll check that in a moment. What is that? Is that blood there? Let me guess, this is closed. It's not. It's fascinating how many areas there are at the same time. It's not at all linear. But it is linear, but there's always something to explore, and I feel like this is a secret. Girl, are you okay? I'm concerned about you. Oh, well, look at that. Is that a mask? Look, we both know that I'm not going to say no to a collectible. Well, now I can just hide in a pile of guts and no one will notice. Let me test it. What you think? Do I fit in? I also have to applaud the developers because they gave jiggle physics to the guts in the mask. Extraordinary. Now, would you like to take a bath? Oh, come on. Really? You make a pool like this and then you deny me my entry. But not my entrails. They are on my head. Well, it's not my entrails, it's someone else's, but I'm sure they don't need it anymore. Or at least I think. But if you take a look, you can see that they are actually moving, contracting and expanding ever so grossly. Nice detail. Let me give you the bird mask now that we have two. And yes, if this pattern continues, then I'm pretty sure the girl is terrified of the prospect of me finding the third mask. But again, a nice detail. Yes, this was kind of hidden, and I didn't understand why the puff of smoke or dust emerged from this locker, but apparently it was a way to show the player that hey, there's something more there, or maybe just something that gets your interest and makes you want to explore. And there is a point to exploration because you find things every now and then, and I like that the game is rewarding for being curious. Also, another animation of the girl idling and holding the lamp on her forearm. Nice. And a nice detail is that when you are near a mask, you can see its outline. I'm not sure if that is up to some sort of a setting, but I definitely appreciate it because in the second game I know there were times when I was right next to the mask and I couldn't really figure it out that that was a mask because it just really nicely fit the environment, and also it was quite tiny. Here it's a bit more obvious. I think it makes finding the masks a bit easier, and also the fact that they have their kind of dedicated secrets, so they are not just randomly thrown into the background. You have to find the secret and then you get the reward, the mask in there. So finding the secret is the adventure and not checking every nook and cranny of the background to find an item, because I think in Little Nightmares 2 you only had a little dot maybe above the item signaling that you can interact with that. In the first game I think it wasn't that much of a problem because you were looking for the gnomes and the statues, and those were early on established as things you can look for, and so if you saw them you right away knew, okay, that's a collectible. With the gnomes you had the entire idea of following them and seeing them run away being a kind of clue that they are nearby and which way you might need to look for them. With the statues they were obviously more static, but you could find them in kind of hidden parts here and there, and sometimes they weren't necessarily hidden from view, you just had to figure out how to get to them. In the second game, the static figures were, I think, more difficult to find, but once again they had mostly their unique little spots, so that was something to look for, and they had an effect when you were close to them, so you could find them like that. With the masks, some of them were really hidden, and I think people missed it. It wasn't terrible or anything like that, but I like that here they have their little spots and they have an outline to have the players. Now with my ugly boogly new mask, I'm gonna fall down. Really? I just got through one. I'm happy already. Well, the AI will not fall down, so that's good, and this will be a shortcut. Yeah, the good old kick works every time. And a nice detail, you don't have to go up to the ladder and press a button to interact with it. You can just walk up to it, and if you keep walking, then the character will climb up or down. Okay, well, we are not going that way. You know, we could jump down, but so far, again, with every game, as I play, I kind of get a feel for how the secrets work, how the trophies work. And in this game, it's nice that the game rewards you for exploring, for being curious, but not for being suicidal or doing crazy things. So, in my mind, I don't think that walking off here could lead to a super secret something, because so far the game never really even hinted at that you have to jump off of ledges or something like that to find new places or to progress. So an example of that would be actually the Ape game I mentioned, New and Tasty, where again and again... Oh, welcome in, Zeph. How is your day today? So in Abe, there are a number of times when you have to kind of leave the screen to find a secret, and so there you already have this idea of, alright, something is in the foreground, maybe it's hiding something behind there. I found the third mask. Oh, are you playing right now? Don't tell me where it is. I want to find it myself. And so far, I think I found everything quite decently. The one thing I can tell you about this game, on PC at least, so far, if you are playing on a weaker setup, I think it will work. But every time it loads, it will just fall apart. At least that's my experience so far. I got Wisdom Tooth extracted. Oh, congratulations. I hope it went well and it wasn't too painful. I know people get a lot of anesthetics and painkillers there, so I'm not sure when it happened and if you are still feeling a bit high up in the clouds, but I hope it heals quickly and your smile will remain as beautiful as it is right now. Yes, I do. Oh, okay. I kind of skipped the second mask. Well, if you were not watching, then I will not spoil you where it is, but you can see what you are fighting for on my head. I think it definitely is worth the trouble looking for it. However, I think there is a bug. Oh, you saw it, okay. I think there is a bug with it because there's one point that keeps jumping out of the mask. You can, I try to rotate the character in a way that you can see it. Sometimes it seems like it gets caught up in the nothingness. Reminds me of, I think it was the clothing of the janitor in one of the elevators. When I saw a similar issue, how one part of the model got a bit caught up in midair and started pulling out that side. Now let's see what we have here. Can I jump up there? Did I hear a rat? Kane? Kane, are you in there? Apparently no. Well, isn't that well, that was actually a kid, but isn't that a convenient hole, if I might say so myself? Now, would anyone explain to me why is the kid we are trying to save running away from us? The ungrateful little brat. Where the heck did they go? Oh, leather. Kinda makes sense. Based on the location of the masks, I would say we are like 2/3 of the way with the demo, or through the demo. We'll see. Also, I'm curious how the heck we will go back to the boat, because that really felt like we will return to that spot. I'm not sure. I'm not really trusting this this bridge. Alright, funny part. I'm looking forward to it. What did I get hung up on? Oh! Would you look at you? Sightseeing? Are we? Oh, it's a poster. Oh, I can collect the poster! Why am I collecting posters? No idea, but again, I looked at it, I was like, let's try to interact. No clue. Apparently posters can be collected. Well, I guess let's sit down. Oh, look at me, how rude I am. Where are my manners? Let me clean out this seat for you. Let's free it up. Oops. I wanted to keep the chair for you, but that's that. No, it's time to reflect on my actions. Okay, enough reflecting. I'm not a mirror. I am the boy. Interesting that you can play as the girl in single player. At least I wasn't given any option to choose. I'm curious if the game will be like that as well. Yep, we are not going here. It really seems like there's only one way, following the guy who was here. But that is a terrible idea if you ask me, but... Oh, wheelbarrow. Let me check. Maybe we can find something interesting inside the... No. A lot of the environment cannot really be interacted with, which is kind of okay. It makes the world feel less alive. However, these bushes are interesting because maybe we will be able to hide in them. So this is the train yard. Again, we have multiple doors to try. I feel like where the light is shining, that's where that figure went. Can we use this? Not that it would be a good idea, but... Let's go! What do I have to do? Down, up, jump. Oh, crouch down? No, I can't crouch down. Forward, backward. Oh, it's missing a wheel. Silly me. Sorry, let me put this back. Yeah, just like that. Oh, I'm so manly. Nah, let's try it again. Even though, now that I'm thinking about it, wouldn't this be really loud? Let's check the doors first. Again, most of the time the game lets you go back in case you find something. Okay, this is closed. I have a feeling that this will be closed as well. No, this will be a secret because there's no lamp above it. That would be such an old school way of map design. Bombs. Is that a hat? Wow, we have an odd head shape. Can someone explain to me what this hat is? I look like a dumpling. Well, my dear, you are now the fortunate owner of guts. You look so beautiful. And I look like a dumpling. And indeed, this is a secret. Again, look at all this in this room. All just created as a surrounding for this mask. But that is why it's rewarding to look around and find them, because you find these places as well. Absolutely lovely. Now, wait, we have one more place to go. Yes, I'm not surprised that this is open. You know what? Let's try the train. Mushroom hat? Maybe it's a mushroom. Maybe it's just a pillow. But then why does it have the little thingy on the top? I'm really unsure. Well, girl, help me out here. I can do all the work myself. Okay. Let's press up, down, left, right. Crouch. C. F. E. What the heck do I have to do this? Come on. I feel like I'm missing something here. Let me think. We're missing another wheel, aren't we? Oh, that... Why didn't you tell me we're missing a wheel, huh? Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But it seems the... It seems it was on the mask. It's something with the model that is falling apart here. The right mouse button works as a kind of cancel thing. So maybe even with the lever that we had to hold in the mill, I could let go of it, except instead of pressing the use or interact button, which is E, you need to press the right mouse button. What was that? I'm stuck in a port. I'll wait for you to reach it. Alright. Oh, this is a hand dryer. Oh, okay. Well, we found a hand dryer. And what's this? Is this foam or the stuffings of something? I think foam, because there's this pipe here. Well, let me guess, this is closed. Brilliant. But hey, there's a conveniently placed hole here. Yeah, we're not talking about that. You know, weird things have... Oh, poster. It's interesting that the saving icon in the bottom right corner is a square and a circle again, representing the characters. Where is this door from? It was over this hole. Well, check in the toilets, because obviously we all know odd things happen in toilets in horror games. But hey, we can flush the toilets. That's great. I can flush this. I'm not sure if I want to flush this one, but I'm doing it. Maybe a toilet door. Oh, maybe that. You are indeed correct. Maybe one of the stalls. Interesting. So when the seat is missing, the character cannot flush the toilet, because that is where he steps up to reach the handle. That's clever. Can I get in there? No. Well, I guess we have to talk about him. So apparently he was the plumber, and someone thinks that they are an alien, except doing it backwards. And you can even see, I think, the little dots there. A good call. Good call, but I'm in the wrong position. I can't quite move there. I know the horrors. And in a way, this is much gorier than Little Nightmares, now that you point that out. But you can even see where the ribs are supposed to be, how the chest was opened up. But why do we need this? I guess. No, we are working as plumbers. You know, it's so unprofessional in a public toilet to flush yourself. Come on. Really? Of course everything is clogged to hell. Let's see what's in this one. What was I showing to the girl? Like, there's nothing here, or come here, look at this, or what was that? What? When did you learn to teleport? I can't do anything here apparently. Alright. Well, I have the key. I'm really happy it didn't fall into that little drainage cover. Went to the same toilet, and that is not by accident. Again, the developers are using really old but really clever tricks, because you go to the toilet that is not blocked like this one, and the one that is in the middle that is illuminated by the light, and that's why I go to the other ones, because I'm thinking, okay, if there's a secret, that's where people wouldn't want to go. Also, it seems like I can't follow our friend, but that's fine. No, we have a key. I checked the other ones as well. It's so nice to see when my... how do you say it nicely? Bad influence starts rubbing off on people, and they start looking for secrets and trophies. I'm a loot goblin. Yes, that as well. Even though there's not exactly any loot in this game, I'd assume we have the hats or the masks, and we also have the posters, but nothing that would be a consumable. Well, this demo is not short, but hey, we only can, in a way, play through it once, since we can choose the character. Ooh, look at those spider webs. Can I go through the... I can go through the spider webs. Brilliant. I'm not sure what this place is. You know, there are those times when you just want to hang yourself up to dry. Some people took it literally. I'm not sure what's on top of this shelf, but it's unsettling. Ooh, can I sit down? Wondrous. Can I ask the girl to sit down? Since I can call her. Yes! Yes, I can! Isn't that amazing? It serves pretty much no purpose, but great. Looks like another boneless person. Well, people rather. I think we have multiple of them. What's that? I found the brick! Zeph! I found the brick! You're the expert. What do I do with the brick? I can throw the brick! Oh wait, there's a foot here. Oh, you were talking about the one on the shelf. Alright, maybe, but I'm not sure. What's hanging down then? I was thinking that's a tail, and maybe it's a... It's a rodent of some sort, but maybe we can get there. We could run all the way if we can get on top of the shelf, which I don't think we can. So we have bricks. We have a can. Are these distractions? Is that what this is? It's a nice place, but it's a whole lot of useless things for me right now. Oh, look at that. That's another face. It's just so disfigured, it's difficult to notice. Yes, we can throw the can. Oh, goodness. Not happy about that. Oh, wait, that's another one. Maybe you were right. That was an arm. Silly me. But maybe this is like a dry cleaner for skin. I don't care. I want to check what's in the suitcase. No, I can't. Okay. Now I have to carry this, you see. So if something happens, they are slithering. They are slithering! That's kind of creepy, I like it. How the heck we will get this over there? Okay, I'm jumping. Understood. Oh, they can come up here. That's no good. Okay. Okay, I don't know why we can throw things around, but I don't think we need that. Let's get the heck out of here. Come on. I love throwing things, yes, absolutely, but I don't think it would help much. That's the mentioned lovely part. Just run! That's all you have to do, just run. Okay, this is not safe at all. I would almost say this is unsafe. Now here's the question, can we stop? Can we let go and look around? No, we have to keep going. Alright. Into the darkness. It's really dark in here. It's really laggy. Okay, I did not see that. Fair enough. Well, there's this, but there's also a hole here. Or is that just... Oh no, no, we found something. We found something. Now, what is this place? Rabbit. You have a rabbit mask, don't you? Maybe they will understand you. What's that? Oh, it's a candle! It's a shrine! It's a rabbit shrine! Mildly creepy, I like it. I have no clue why we did this, but apparently we also have shrines. Is this a door? Apparently there are many things in this game you can collect and do. Good to know. Now can I go back all the way to check what we missed? Probably nothing at all, but if I can come out here. Now who knows? No, I can't do anything here. Have some bushes. Now there is another track here. Where is that going? Normally you would miss all of this, but... Haha! But if you're mad enough, like me, you can come here. And I mean, the camera is not exactly helping my case of exploration. But yeah, you can jump in here and look around. Lovely. It's pretty pointless, even though maybe I missed something, but I don't want to spend too much time just looking around for things that are possibly not even there. Now, come here. I'll boost you up, and whoop, there you go. You get the uppies, and I get your hand. What else could I ask for? Now, uppies, indeed. Okay, I'm happy that I didn't fall into the abyss, because I definitely did not see where I was heading. Come on, why are you running away from us? No, this is nice, because the movement is made in such a way that if you run to the edge of something, the character does this little swaying motion, you won't fall down. And I couldn't even see that there was a hole there, a little canyon. But because of this kind of safety system in place, I didn't die and had to restart. I realized right away, oh, the character is doing that move. That means there's a hole there. I realized that. I turn around. That's really nice. Is there something behind the train? You know, even though there is absolutely nothing here, the developers programmed the camera to follow you, so you can see that there's nothing there. That's so nice. And that's something I appreciate, when the developers know how a player will behave, that they will do silly things, that they will try things that doesn't necessarily make sense, and that is alright, because that's part of the game. Now, let's do this. Oh, nice. I just wanted to ask, how is it that not only the girl's lantern is alight while we are opening the hatch, but also the boy's lighter? Because yes, the girl can just hang it off of let's say her belt or something like that, but where do you put a lit lighter? Well, apparently the boy puts it down right next to the hatch and then picks it up. A really tiny detail, but someone had to make that bit of animation. But I have to say, some of you are absolutely magnificent. Look at that nose. Look at that nose. Some of these faces kind of remind me, especially this one, remind me of like the alien design, and this one, because I can't even seem to find the eyes. Is that... Oh, because it's backwards. Sorry, this is the back of your head. I see. That's not an eye, that's an ear, and you are looking outside. But that's you see, that's the beauty when you take something and you present it in such a way that it becomes strange. Because you are obviously familiar with how a person looks like, but take out all the insides, just left with the skin, and then because they become elastic in a way, you can pose them backwards, because normally people don't bend this way. And so you look at it and it's uncanny. And it has this, for most, it has this unnerving effect. For me, I just appreciate it immensely. It brings a smile to my face. So will they get up? Most certainly. So, oh, so I should be hiding. Okay, understood. So you are making all of these suits? Oh. Oh, so clever. So clever. There's so much to unpack just in this one scene. First of all, the girl, the AI, hiding. In this case, it did not spoil the game, because this wasn't a puzzle, it was a cue, and a clue to the player that now it is time to hide. And they timed it ever so perfectly that you are looking around maybe here like I was, thinking, can I open the briefcases or will the skins come alive? And then you see, oh wait, the girl is hiding. Why is the girl hiding? Then you see the figure in the background, you hide, and then he enters the train. Really, really clever. And this needs such expertise and so much testing and trying to get the timing just right. Because if it's too quick, you will just die. And I mentioned this in many playthroughs of different games, that in horror, you want to minimize the times that you die in the game. Because if you die too many times, you kind of lose the importance of survival. The stakes are not that high anymore because, oh, I just die, I respawn, whatever. But if you survived all this time, let's say an hour, or maybe you died because you fell down, but you kind of forget about it, that was just a misstep. But the enemies couldn't catch you, right? And so now I survived this, now I want to keep on surviving. Because the fewer times you die in a game, the more impactful it becomes. And the other nice thing, the girl hides here. So even though I'm pretty sure you can hide further back here or anywhere, but the most likely place you will hide is on the other side in the forefront, because that's where you enter this area from. And so the creature looks under some of the seats and you're like, oh, they will, or he will notice us. And then he checks the suitcase that is right above you, and that suitcase is right above you for a reason, right? Because it's a kind of distraction to the creature, so it looks at that and not under the seat, but it also gets really close to you. And it's interesting that why the developers decided to place the briefcases over you and not your partner. Because if you are playing, if this is a single player only experience, you could put the briefcases here, right? And even if you're trying to open them, once you have to hide, you just go to the opposite side, problem solved. so that's not a big deal. However, then you would be worried for her, which would work. Oh, Physalia with a raid. Welcome in, Physalia, and welcome in, raiders. How are you doing today? I am the Dreadist, a monster and researcher of horror, and today I am playing the demo of Reanimal. Welcome in, Moth Attack! Welcome, Captain, welcome, Gojira, and thank you for the save. I will try to save this game, I'm not dead yet. And the hydrate as well, thank you, Agent. Welcome in, Artes, Agent, Physalia. Let me take a sip of my tea. Such a cool model, how are you doing? Thank you so much. It's my new Live 2D model. As you can see, it's a bit more dynamic and ever so spooky. I feel quite nice in this new skin of mine. It was tailored to me by a wonderful artist called VTuber. Indeed. Yes, their name is written as the game repo. But don't be fooled. It's not a game. They are a brilliant artist. Spooky. Yes, you look incredible. Thank you so much. And actually, what, your Dreadist from MoxieChat? Yes, I might be. I think there's only one Dreadist, and that's me. All the other ones are just pretenders. But yes, I watch Physalia's stream every now and then when I get the chance. Except we mostly stream at the same time, but I am in her chat and also Skaties when I have the chance. Thank you for the follow, Gojira. And actually, speaking of my model, I started using this model a bit early, you see, because my sweet just called me Loki. I see, but thank you, Loki, for the follow. I started using this model because my wonderful viewers helped me reveal it on my Blue Sky profile, but not everything is revealed just yet. So if you'd like to help me with a like or maybe a repost on Blue Sky, then you can do that right here. What is your necklace? It's so nice, right? It sways left and right. And indeed, its light is a bit flickering. It's the lambent light of my lantern charm. Lamp, indeed. It attracts all kind of brilliant creatures like moths. On it? Thank you. So, what were you streaming? Let me ask you. But before I get lost in my thoughts, as I always do, please let me tell you, if you need to raid and run or just take care of yourself after a long stream, please do so. Get yourself something to eat, drink, get up, stretch your back a bit. It will certainly thank you later on, because let me tell you, my old bones are aching. But if you do have a moment, please do tell. How was your stream? What were you doing? Just chatting, I see. My dread rats are helping me out. Damn, I like the demo. I'm happy to hear that. To those who might not be familiar with this game, this is the demo of Reanimal, the new game from Tarsier Studios, the original developers of Little Nightmares and Little Nightmares 2. And this game will release later in 2026, published by THQ Nordic, their new publisher, but as a kind of exclusive and quite surprising gift from the developers for the occasion of the Steam Next Fest, a demo was released. Nox was attacked by grey screen cause her internet was unhappy. Oh, that's always troubling with streams. Absolutely. I know the feeling. You see, my internet cables are running through my attic, and there is a pesky dead possum who wants to turn it into their chew toy. But my rats are on it, defending the cable at all times. We read info about cryptids after my PC got mad at me. Oh. What cryptids? Good question. There are so many brilliant cryptids around. I want to know. And yes, to those who might be curious, those passengers sitting on the seats are skins. Jackalope. Oh my gosh, possum. Yes. You see, why it's really tricky. I'll have to run. Have a great one, Dread. Thank you so much, artist. Have a wonderful day. And obviously to everyone else who needs to go, I more than understand. Please enjoy the rest of your day. Whatever much is left of it. Apparently time zones are still a thing, as much as I don't like them. But hey, in my realm, it's always night. Oh, look at Visaya smiling there. Canopy's Algoin, Ondine's Croak, Methine, Krampus, so many odd names I don't even know how to pronounce. I have to look into those. And more. Much more. There are so many creatures in the world, and I said this before, but beautiful babies, yes. But you see, the beauty of the world is that humans, they think that these are made up creatures, right? And some of them might be, but how do you know if they are really not real? And when I heard about VTubing for the first time, that was the exact idea why I got interested, because I was thinking, well, I'm a monster, but I can use any form I want here, and people will, ever so foolishly, think that this is just a persona, right? It's just a VTuber thing to say that I'm a monster. But no. And who knows? Who knows which VTuber is immortal and which one is not, right? It's like Halloween, when you go out and people just assume that you are a human dressed up. But hey, I got some compliments on my costumes throughout the years during Halloween, and I just decided not to wear my disguise. Let me see. It was fun. Which is your favorite? Good question. Krampus is a demon from German folklore that eats people, bad people, on the winter festival, aka what Christmas is. Oh yes, the good old Krampus. Dark Santa. In a way, you can say that. I remember on one of the Killing Floor 2 maps, we had to help Santa against the Krampus. Not Dark Santa, it came before Santa. It's Odin's counterpart. Really? The Tarrasque that I never heard of. I loved it. Oh, I will have to check that VOD. But I think, given that the Steam Next Fest is over by now, we should finish this demo, because in case it was exclusive to the duration of the Next Fest, I wouldn't like to get a message that I can't finish it. I know, he's from Germany. Oh, that was so cute. That broken grammar. So, apparently our friend is chased by a creature who makes these lovely decoration pieces. My family is also from Germany. Oh. But I assume that you also speak German, in which case I can greet you by saying Guten Abend instead of my usual good evening. I will have to run, but take care and have fun finishing the demo. Thank you so much, and once again thank you for trusting your community to me. I hope they like horror. And have a wonderful rest of your day. Sadly, no, I can't speak German. Oh. Well. Then that makes us two, because I can't speak German at all. But you can learn some really interesting tidbits from Schmoozer and Zeph, who are some of my wonderful viewers. They speak German and sometimes they share questionable knowledge. I know some German, like Guten Nacht, Tessu, or goodbye. Wait, that's how they write Tschüss? Really? I don't know. I haven't seen that one written down, but I know goodbye is Tschüss, but that's a lot of additional letters there. Now let's look for this. Let's look for this guy. I think the guy found us. You know, looking at the right way to spell it, I cannot at all blame you for mistyping that. It's hard to spell. I mean, just look at that thing. It's like consonants. Just consonants. Like they added one vowel just so you can even pronounce it. It's crazy, the German language, I'm telling you. Tschüss is the right one. Oh yes, but it has the little accents, the dots. Okay, so we have one problem. I think my controls are slightly broken. Slow walk is left alt. Because I think when I jumped out, it showed some odd button. Left control to sneak. Oh, it just tries to write left control in the little square, and oh my goodness, that's difficult to read. So I'm curious what this guy is, because I feel like he is a similar skin, just walking around. Because his feet are backwards. You might be able to see it. You see, he's kind of dragging his feet around. But I do believe he is known as the Sniffer. Okay, which way do we have to go? Other way. But back to the German thing. I always say, if you just know a few words, you can talk to that many more people around the world. So never feel bad if you misspell a word or not pronounce something perfectly, because the point of language is communication, and if you stay here for a bit and watch some of my streams, you will learn that I absolutely adore language, and whatever language my viewers speak, I love to get to know it and hear about some of the crazy words they know, because it is just fascinating. Now this is interesting. This is really interesting because I saw a door on the left. Ah! Really subtle hint by the developers that I'm not going this way. Noted. Yeah, let's go the other way. Good idea. Now, I guess I'm pulling this one. I hope these are the brakes. Well, that wasn't a lot of movement, but some. Okay. Let's go. He's quick, alright. Where the fuck did you come from? Now you're here, of course. I was chasing you down. Why do I get to die? I struggled a bit at the sneaking part at first. I'm not surprised. I really got caught there. Okay, you know what? Let's just run. No. Here I can't necessarily say that this is the fault of the game. The timing is precise, yes, but if you don't stop, you can kind of make it. And this is what... Never mind. But this is why I mentioned earlier that it's a good thing that the characters can move through each other, because it really helps in these moments. But what I'm messing up here, and you can see that, but I stop in front of the ladder and I press E, because I'm used to how you have to usually interact with ladders and such to climb, but here that is not needed. So if I actually pay attention not to do that, I feel like I will be much faster, except that this kid can actually climb faster than or run faster than I can. But indeed, if you use the the game's features to your advantage, you can get through it pretty nicely. And this is the part when I growled at the game. Yes, you die here a few times. I can more than imagine that. And we can visit the store or just return to the main menu. Overall, I want to say that this is a pretty nice demo. It's pretty fun. I felt safe, just 1 pixel too low. Yes. You really have to run. Like, I was running now. The path wasn't perfect because again I'm playing on PC, so there's a bit of trouble with really accurate moves, but I would say that it's doable, this slash chase, as you could see. A bit too demanding with the timing maybe, but again, this is something they can fix in a moment, like give an additional second to the player and you're good to go. So these are the kind of things that I say fine-tuning is important. I stopped the count after 5 tries. Well, I'm happy I only died 3 times. And I found all the masks, which is lovely. Now let me actually show you something that I downloaded earlier. You see, this game, Reanimal, will release later on in 2026. And it will have a collector's edition. Now, I couldn't find too much information about it, but there is a really nice image and a video on THQ's website, because they have a shop where I think you can already pre-order it. So let me show you that. We actually haven't seen this sheep creature. So this is the collector's edition. It's really quite big, as you can see. Let me try to fix this. Even though I'm pretty sure the 2 images should be the same size. So this is the collector's edition of Reanimal. As you can see, you get the game on Nintendo Switch 2, PS5, Xbox Series X or PC, meaning that this game will be next gen only, or rather a new gen at this point. But based on the settings in the demo, I would hazard a guess that it will have cross-gen support, which is nice. Now obviously I can't try it out with the demo because the demo is only available on Steam, so PC at this point. That's a lot of stuff. That is indeed a lot of stuff. You get the game, you get multiple sheets of stickers, you get an art book, an exclusive box, a keychain, a map poster, I guess that is the map of the game. You also get Bucket, who I'm assuming will be one of our friends that we have to rescue, maybe, and a pig statue as well. Quite a lovely art piece. I would have it on my desk, but I'm not sure if it's a good idea to bring it to your office job. But it's the pig from the trailer. Really quite nice. Again, showing that as much as this is rated 16 plus. It's much gorier than Little Nightmares. So this isn't 18 plus yet for some odd reason. A halfway stapled together pig apparently does not warrant an 18 plus or an M rating, but it's certainly a kind of message from the developers that, look, this will be more gory and gruesome. And I mean, we could see that from the skin creatures already. Now, I guess the map shows all the places that we will explore, and that kind of supports my theory that we will return to our boat, even though we went pretty far away from our boat in this demo, but we will use either the same boat or multiple boats to travel through or venture through this entire world that Tarsier created here. And yes, I kept the best for last in a way. We get a season pass and a pre-order DLC. Now what that is, I have to say, I don't know. I really do not know, because oddly enough, if I go to Tarsier's website right now and I check Reanimal, which I do believe actually has a store all to itself as well, it's a bit confusing to me. Now actually I will link the European Reanimal store here in case you are interested in the game. It has a number of little figurines as well. I guess they are the children from the game. So if you are interested, you can buy not only the game, but some of the merchandise as well. And I mean, maybe a better idea is for me to show you, if I can. Again, I started using this new overlay just a few days ago, so I still have to figure certain things out, but hopefully it will work. Yes, it will. Let's go like that. No! I don't want to move. This is so unprofessional! Give me a moment. I get it. Later or sooner. Okay, now. No! No, too low. I see you, Scaly Deciphus. Really? That's Katie. Is she around? Is she trying to steal dirt for me? Or from me? She's fearsome when it comes to dirt, you know. So, here we go. A bit more professional looking. So this is the store, and as you can see, you can get little collectibles. We have the girl here in the little kind of rabbit mask. We have Hood, who is the one friend we were chasing after, and for some odd reason they have a big head. We also have Bucket, the one from the collector's edition. We have the boy, who I'm assuming is us, with a shovel. or shovel. We have bandage with some human skins, and the mine, which is a resin figure and a bit bigger. Also, we have the orphan's sad box, which I'm assuming is a collection of these 5 figures. I'm not sure if there is a discount. Let me check. This would be 150 euros. This is only 130, so if you want all of them, it's a good idea to order the sad box. But while I am here, by the way, the German is great in the demo. That's good to know. So here we have the editions. You see, there's the collector edition that I showed you. There's the deluxe edition, and here's the base game. 40 euros, 60 euros, and 200 euros for the collector's edition. No, as we could have seen, the collector's edition is quite big and it comes with a lot of things. Thank you for the hydrate. No. What I'm interested in is, as always, the in-game content. So the collector's edition has the season pass plus the pre-order DLC, no other digital content or in-game content. But the deluxe edition also includes that, as you can see right here. Meaning, if you want everything in the game, you just buy the deluxe edition for 60 euros and you are good to go. What I couldn't quite figure out is, if I pre-order the base game, do I get the pre-order bonus? I mean, it would make sense because I'm pre-ordering it. But it doesn't say the pre-order DLC here. And that was one thing that kind of caught me off guard, so let me check that. As it says, the game will release March 31st. Yes, you do. That would be nice. Because even here... Oh, a dread-filled adventure. Look at that, they thought of me. So nice. It doesn't mention the pre-order stuff. And I don't even think it is mentioned here. However, it does mention here something really quite important to those who are interested in this game. And that's right here. Share the scare. Nobody should be forced to go through hell alone. I mean, even Dante had a guide. Fully playable in single player and local as well as online co-op. Reanimal has a shared directed camera designed to maximize claustrophobia and tension. So that would mean you can indeed play through the entire game alone, in single player, and so far, based on the demo, I would say that the AI is quite capable, and I never really felt like I died because of the AI partner. They never died themselves, I think. So maybe in the full game I will go out of my way to try to murder them. And also, they never really spoiled anything, which is nice. They sometimes helped, and again, in the beginning, like I was, you might be a bit confused about who needs to do what and how you have to call the the other character to do something while you are wandering around and such. But what is interesting here is the shared camera. So that sounds like to me that this game will not work with split screen local co-op, but it will always use the same camera. So you can go really far from each other. That might be a limitation, but it also can keep the system requirement kind of lower, because the area that has to be rendered is smaller. But it also means that in the puzzles, the characters will not need to go really far from each other. So for example, how we had to open a shortcut in the mill, we had to go a bit further away from the other character, but we always remained in the same screen. So that's nice. And this is quite promising to anyone who wants to play this game with their friends. So if, at this point at least, it seems like if you and your friend has the necessary hardware to run the game, be that any platform, you will be able to play together. Obviously, there are limitations. For example, on PlayStation, you will probably need PlayStation Plus to play online, like with all the other games. And also, it's not 100%, but we don't know about Friend Pass, so you might need to purchase the game yourself and your friend as well. We'll see about that. If Friend Pass will be available, this game is a really good offer at this point, in my opinion. Obviously, we don't know how long the game will be. Based on the friends and the number of friends, it doesn't seem like it's a really long game. Alright? Because we have the boy, we have the girl, well, we start with them, and we have to save 3 of our friends, making it 5. Now that's interesting because in the beginning of the game, in the opening cutscene, we see 5 characters from the well, at least that's how I like to call it. And so I assumed we have to save 5 characters, maybe only 3 and the other 2 are the main characters. But that would mean 3 chapters. Now this demo wasn't even one entire chapter. So let's say this game could be 6-7 hours, somewhere along those lines, but that's just a guess. Yeah. Ooh. That's a really interesting tale. First, Pisali was really happy and then she needed to work. And then she finished the work, so she threw a great party and finished with a nice tea. That's a good idea. I approve of that. Now, the other thing I'm unsure about is what the DLCs are. The only mention I found is here with the Deluxe Edition. It says that the Deluxe Edition includes the pre-order DLC as well as the Season Pass, but that's about it. So, what the Season Pass includes? No idea. What the pre-order bonus is or the DLC is? Again, absolutely no idea about that. We'll have to wait on more information to be released. But so far, I would say that it's a really quite promising game, and to be perfectly honest, it's a good deal for this price. Again, let's not forget that new games are releasing for 80 euros, and so this game, at least the base game, is 40 euros. So if they can make a fun game and let's say 5-6 hours long, I think this game can turn into a really big success. And so far, based on the demo, I would say it's really nice. The gameplay is nice. The design is gorgeous. I love the little details and map design and all those little touches that they put into the game with the secrets, the collectibles, the masks, all these kind of things. Really, really nice job. Some things obviously need to be polished a bit. There are some graphical glitches, like the clothes getting a bit weird, and sometimes when you move next to objects, you kind of go through them. I noticed that, but I don't think that's such a huge thing. Obviously, with PC, you have to look at the system requirements. So let me actually look at that. So the minimum system requirements is a GTX 1060 for an NVIDIA graphics card, and actually the recommended is only a 2060. So again, they are not asking for crazy things, which is nice. They are not asking for the latest, greatest graphics card that will melt if you use them too much. And that is something that I would kind of expect from this kind of game, because with the price, with the co-op, with everything, Little Nightmares, really even It Takes Two and Reanimal, they feel to me they are more accessible games for everyone, and I like that they didn't turn this new game into a AAA game with 80 euros prices and say that, oh, it will be 10 hours long or something, but there are all these limitations because we are worried about graphics. They really put the focus on the gameplay and making it fun, and again, it's a huge difference. As much as I don't want to compare Little Nightmares 3 and Reanimal, people will do it. It's a huge difference that here you right away have local co-op, you right away have cross-platform play, hopefully. You don't have cross-gen support because it only releases on next-gen things, but again, that's the choice of the developers to decide that. And it's always nicer if the developers just say, look, this will not run on previous generation games or platforms, instead of releasing it and it not working at all. But overall, I think it's a lovely game. €200 for this collectible edition is a steep price. For those who are really interested in the game, I'm sure they will be happy to buy it. For me, I'm really, really appreciating that they didn't put any digital in-game content into the collector's edition as an exclusive. So if I purchase the deluxe edition, I'm good to go. I have everything. I really appreciate that. And overall, I'm looking forward to the game releasing in some, how many? 5 months? Microtransactions, gross. Well, yeah, there are no microtransactions, so that's nice. That's nice. I always kind of forget about those because I really rarely play games that have microtransactions. I most of the time just avoid them at all cost. But yeah, it's nice that in 2025 I know if I pay €40, I get the base game. If I pay an extra 20, I get the deluxe edition, I get the pre-order stuff, I get the season pass, and I won't have to worry about buying random masks from a daily rotation store or something like that. So I certainly like that old school element of this studio and this game. Now, will I pre-order it? Maybe. I will not say yes, certainly, because I will wait on more information to surface to really see what the pre-order bonuses are and how the company will go about them, as well as what the season pass is or what it will be, because we have no clue about how many chapters it might contain, or maybe it's just one. No idea there. But again, the game cannot be pre-ordered on Steam right now. So it's still early to call how the pre-orders will go. But so far it's honestly a really quite promising game. And hopefully it will stay this way and I will get to play it on stream, and hopefully all of my lovely viewers will enjoy it. I played around 2 hours with it, so yeah, let's say that half of it was me rambling about things, so it's around an hour long experience. But again, here I feel like there is a point in exploring, because you find hidden parts, you get extra little hats, collectibles, and looking at this demo, the one thing that surprises me, the amount of different collectibles. You have the hats, you have the posters, you have the shrines. I'm really, really interested in what the developers will do with them. And that's really clever of them that they included them here, because it gets people invested and they start talking about, like, what do you think? Like, what's the point of the posters? Is this like some utopia? And what with the rabbit shrines? Why rabbits? Like, who made them and why are we lighting candles? So it's clever. Of course, it has its dangers, because maybe people start making their own kind of headcanons, and then it's difficult to release the game and say, yeah, we didn't think like that, so the game will be different. But overall, it's absolutely a lovely game, and I greatly enjoyed it. And now I have to look for someone to rate. We'll see. We'll see who we can raid. Who's live? Not many. Not many. Let me see. Thank you for the wonderful stream, Dreadist. Thank you, Loki. I greatly appreciate it. I will be back Wednesday, actually. I don't even know my own schedule. Maybe I should pull up my own schedule and figure it out. Give me a moment. I'm an old monster. I forget things. Where's my schedule? Oh, my aching back. Don't laugh about it. Your back will hurt too in time. So, yes, I will be back Wednesday with the demo of Resident Evil 3. I know it's an old game, and why am I playing the demo? Well, I played Resident Evil 3 before, but before I would return to it, I decided let's take a look at its demo, because I played the demo of Resident Evil 2 while I was playing that game, and I found some interesting differences that I find quite interesting. And also, I heard there are some challenges in this demo. And then I will be back on Friday with some more Crow Country. We are trying to uncover a mystery, find a missing person, and hopefully not get murdered. So, a usual Friday, I would say. But now we are going... You're not old, you're vintaged. Oh, I like that. If you want old, my old werewolf bones crack. And crack more just from walking and sleeping. Oh, yes. Oh, werewolves. They are brilliant creatures too. It's been a long time that I met a werewolf. But let's start that raid. We are going to raid Timbatir, who is playing Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, a kind of light-hearted horror game. I think they played it before, so maybe they are replaying it for some collectibles, who knows? But however it is, I thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to check out my Blue Sky for some behind the scenes information and obviously my schedule. And if you're really interested, you can join my Discord by redeeming the Discord invite here on Twitch. But until next time, I thank you for joining me on this adventure through the demo of Reanimal. I hope you had as much fun as I had playing it. And now I must find something to munch on. Or someone. Well, until next time, thank you for joining me. Have a great day, and as always, good night.